And it's just a damn shame that others in the media don't understand the danger that they are in for ignoring my plight. Okay, but I'm no baby. I got myself into it by being outspoken. I'll get myself out of it by being outspoken. I'm not crying about it. I got myself into this position, and I'm going to get myself out of it. So if you've contributed to the Savage Legal Fund, thank you very much. I count on you. And we'll let you know what's happened. So far, nothing's happened, to be honest with you. With all the money and all the wheels spinning, nothing. We'll see where it goes. San Antonio, JR, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hey, Doc Savage, how are you today? Just wanted to get quick to the point and tell you thank you. I don't have quite the verbiage you've got and the intelligence you've got, but about a year ago, you one of the inspirations to get me off of drugs. I was doing a pretty bad one there, and that bad one is cocaine. And I just want to say thanks.
Wait. First of all, I appreciate it, but I do want to spend a minute or two with you. I want to do it without sounding self-serving. How did this show help you get the will to get off drugs?
About a year ago, you had an ex-gangbanger on there that was trying to influence young men, listen to your show and things of that nature. He tried to make them listen nightly at their own free will. And at that point in time, the way that gentleman was talking, he wasn't super educated, but he understood and was there on your wavelength and just got it. And I was like, what?
That's interesting. Now, wait a minute. But wait. So, in other words, because of that guest, you were able to get the wherewithal to start strengthening your inner being to resist drugs? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a lot of your different views of the non-political stuff, because you can hear that on every talk show, all points of view, and listening to you not talk about politics is my favorite part of the show.
Hold on. Well, let's go there for a minute. What age bracket are you in without giving up too much information about yourself?
I'm 33.
So what part of the non-political stuff do you find the most interesting, entertaining?
Oh, Teddy, of course. I'm a dog.
Why does this little dog, Teddy, my dog, has become almost a mental mascot of millions of people. It's amazing to me. Yet people don't even know him, and they love him.
My wife and I, we've got a dog. We've got several dogs, actually, and a lot of animals at home. Some of them are rescues and things like that. And I don't know, it's just like any dog.
So you're a good man with a kind heart who went to drugs to cover up the pain of your heart and of your kindness. There's no question about it.
Yeah, well, it starts off like anything. You do it just kind of goofing around, and the next thing you know, it leads to another, and it takes a hold of your life. And
just goofing around. So when I did shows on the dangers of marijuana, which I called the most dangerous of all drugs because it is a gateway drug, you would agree with that, I think, at this point in your life.
Ironically enough, I can't stand marijuana. It makes you stupid.
But did you start with marijuana, or you went right into cocaine?
I went right to the hard stuff.
Oh, my God. So you're an anomaly. I really never heard of that.
Yeah, reflecting back, I really can't remember how I started. I mean, I was going through some tough times and I quit for a while and got in a bad point in my life, and I guess that was the escape to not dealing with reality. And I don't know.
What kind of program did you go into to get off drugs other than listening to the Savage Nation? I mean, this couldn't be the whole thing. Did you go into treatment?
Friends and family. Just a lot of friends and family, and I'm not a super religious guy, but, you have to stare up a few times when you're looking at yourself at 5, 6 in the morning, and you're like, why aren't I sleeping? What the heck's wrong with me? Why am I being so stupid? You know better, but you just can't do it. It just takes a hold of your life, and, just listen to you and be quite honest with you, going to the drug dealer's house, listening to your show, going, why am I going? And I'm listening to this guy tell me how stupid I am, and still did it anyway.
Well, let me tell you something. If I can do this show every day, day in and day out, at my age, after 15 years without drugs, you can certainly live your life without drugs. Trust me, there are days that I wish to God I could reach for something to make it all go away. But you can't. You can't make life go away. Why do you think on a gravestone the R.I.P. is there, rest in peace? Why do you think it's always been called rest in peace? Because none of us are in peace in our life. It's the one thing to remember is that you're not alone in your turmoil, your anxiety, your anguish. All human beings by nature are filled with turmoil, anxiety, and anguish. It's a lie. It's a lie put out by Hollywood and the media that some are, some people don't feel that. Well, maybe some don't. Most people do. That's called life. And I think that once you accept that life is not a bed of roses, has been put that way, and that you have to face the fact that it's terribly difficult from morning till night, just facing life itself is not easy. You're not going to need drugs.
Quick comment, Mr. Savage. I do make a small donation today to your legal defense fund.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. I'd rather you didn't, Jay. I really thank you, but you don't have to. Right now, we're good for right now till the next phase. Trust me, if I needed more in the defense fund, I would ask for it. We're good right now. We're ready to face whatever we have to face, sue whoever we have to sue if we have to. We're using diplomatic channels at this moment. It has cost me quite a bit of money, but I don't want to go into that right now. Lawyers in London are not inexpensive, but I thank you. You know what I want to do for you right now, JR, is send you a copy of Psychological Nudity, because I think you will enjoy reading the stories in there. And I think that that's going to help you a great deal.
Savage, I actually read a couple of chapters from a friend of mine's book, and I was hooked. And he's like, "No, I can't let you borrow it. I'm not done with it yet."
No, you stay on the line. It's going to be sent out to you immediately. Thanks for calling. Beautiful call. I'll be right back.
Savage. Hi there, we are Armstrong and Getty. We're on every morning 6 to 10 here on 910 KNEW, or download the podcast and listen anytime at 910KNEW.com.
I saw an article today while eating a greasy Chinese lunch. Delicious. In fact, I was away for 10 days, okay? I was out of the state. And you can't get good Chinese food out of San Francisco. Maybe New York you can, whatever. I came back. The first thing I did is I ran to the greasy joint I go to that I complain about. I was so hungry for the food, being that I'm on East Coast time. I ate this greasy lunch for breakfast. There was no one in there. I mean, they were mopping the floor at 11 o'clock today. I said to her, "Are you open?" "Yeah." Well, it was so good. It was unreal. And I drizzled. I'm in San Francisco. I can't say I poured. I drizzled hot sauce on the food. I got to tell you, my sinuses opened up from that food. I needed 3 napkins to get back to my apartment. So in the place, I like to read free newspapers that are left over by customers from a day before. And this one is hard to read because there's still grease on it from the lunch. I said, I got to read this to the audience. It was from the San Francisco Examiner from July 14th, Tuesday. The article was, "Drunk with Power and Esteem, President's Sanity Disappears." I said, what? Let me read that again. "Drunk with power and esteem, President's sanity disappears." Says, maybe it's time to cut the position back down to constitutional size, as history shows how warped chief executives become. I said, oh, my God. And he quotes, the author is Gene Healy. He's a columnist, and he's a vice president of the Cato Institute, and the author of the book, The Cult of the Presidency. And here's what he writes. He says, one of our greatest and sanest chief executives, Calvin Coolidge, wrote in 1929 that it was hard for the president, quote, to avoid the malady of self-delusion, living as he does in, quote, an artificial atmosphere of adulation and exaltation. And he said Coolidge had a meager staff of 38 people, didn't know the half of it. Today's president lives in a bubble of hundreds of sycophants, flies a tricked-out 747, and knows that he's the most powerful man in any room he enters. You hear this? So today it's, oh, my God, Obama swatted a fly. So cool. He went to raise Hellburger, just like any normal person with a massive Secret Service detail. And he said, how long can any of us remain grounded in an environment where we're constantly treated like a god? Well, the answer is not at all. And he talks about celebrity pathology. And then he refers to LBJ. He says past presidents drunk on adulation and tormented by responsibilities no movie star faces have indeed lost their grip. In an Oval Office meeting in 1967, asked by a reporter why America was in Vietnam, President Lyndon Johnson unzipped his fly, wagged the presidential member at his questioner, and exclaimed, this is why.